We're the people from
Well, I don't think it. For New York, it's 12:30 in the morning. L.A. it's 9:30 at night. I think it was on for years. I don't know years, but it's been well, that WhatsApp group, right? Well, different WhatsApp group. So it was on WhatsApp, and there were like 40 guys that former students, and most of them would listen to it on going to work in the morning. I think video is a disadvantage. I don't think people want to watch video. I think people want to listen. I don't think they have time to sit there and watch a screen. They'll watch other things on the screen, I understand, but to watch a class on a screen, I think is hard. I'd much rather listen.
Well, what I do, if it's a video and I'm listening, I just don't listen. I'm sitting in my car, I'm listening.
Right, exactly, right. My son has a YouTube thing every week on the Parsha, and I don't watch it, but I listen to it. Right. So you're right, when I'm driving, exactly. Okay. We're in the middle of the discussion of B'Shalom. Pada B'Shalom, base Shalom, two different levels of Shalom. Shalom ilamayla lamata, which is the gilui or that brings about the bittul of the state below, right? And relative to the nefesh elokis, nefesh bamis, that means the nefesh bamis is bottle, dormant, right? So that we've been saying is a level of ishafcha, right? To the extent that there's no opposition to the nefesh elokis, and the level of shalom from below, shalom milamata lamayla, is through his beinanus a person can come to an appreciation of elokus, and then the nefesh bamis is maskim, he agrees, and is purified, elevated, changed, but that's through a battle, and that the Rebbe's been calling iskafia. Even if, interesting enough, today's a Yom Yom, right? What's today's a Yom Yom? One of the basic tenets of Chassidus is that Mamayach Sholet al Alev, that the brain controls the heart, and the Rabbi talks about doing that through his beinanus, through intellectual understanding, which is really interesting because in our Maimer, so that intellectual understanding, the Rebbe was calling Mayach Sholet al Hamaiseh, right? Not necessarily the lave. Meaning, when is it Mayach Sholet al Alev? When the lave comes to an appreciation of Elokus itself, as opposed to what we usually call iskafia, is the Mayach Sholet al Hamaiseh, that the Mayach just controls the Maiseh, but my lave is not involved. Adrabah, my lave wants to do the Aveira, Rachmana litzlan, but I overcome that. So Mayach Sholet al Hamayach, here the Mayach Sholet al Hamaiseh, right? In this mimer, so the Rebbe is taking us to the place that's very much in line with what it says in Yom Yom to a certain degree, right? That through his beinanus you can come to Mayach Sholet al Alev, where the lave changes, right? So that meaning, even the Aveda from below above, can be b'shalom, and that's the Chiddush, right? Because we've been saying up until now, every mimer, every part of b'shalom mimer talks about the fact that the Aveda from below above, the Aveda of his beinanus, is a milchama. It's a battle with the nefesh bamis, right? And yet here we're saying that there's base shalom, two different levels of shalom. Even milamata lamayla can be shalom, and the Rebbe hasn't explained how. We said yesterday that's going to be a nice test, but the Rebbe has explained that the reason for the fact that there can be shalom milamata is ki berabim hayu imadi. There's a gilui of yechida. Ki berabim hayu imadi is the gilui of yechida. Pada b'shalom nafshi mikravli. So there's Pada B'Shalom, that's the Gilui Milamayla. Mikravli, that's the battle below. Those two both of those can ultimately be expressed in Shalom by virtue of the fact Kibarabim Hayu Imadi, the revelation of Yechida B'Sheba Nefesh. Oh, okay. And the Chiddush that the Rebbe said in Vav was that not only are both of these levels of Aveda necessary, but they both contain within each other the milas of each. In other words, the mila of the revelation from above is what Zachariah, since you answered this yesterday, I can ask you again. The mila of the Aveda from the revelation from above, bittul. It's mavatal, the nefesh bamis, right? In reality, a gilui of our sovev is mavatal or mamale. Right? A revelation of infinite godly light will bring about a complete bittul of finite reality. You won't experience finite, you'll only experience infinite. Right? Okay. So too in Aveda, the revelation of the Or of either Chaya Shebenefesh or Yechida Shebenefesh will bring about, it will probably be temporary, but a temporary bittul of the Nefesh Abamis. Right? Relative to Ratzon was that the Ratzon of the Nefesh Elokis will overcome the Ratzon of the Nefesh Bahamis. We talked about it in terms of real life, so to speak, inspiration, in a state of inspiration, so you no longer have a desire, temporarily, you no longer have a desire for that thing that might bother you at certain times in life. Right now, you're just not interested. It's not interested in the least. Okay. So that's the revelation above, which is Mavatal the Nefesh Bahamis. The advantage of the Aveda from below is Zichuch. It purifies the below. Right? Because it penetrates into the essential being of the below, because the below is making the decision. It's not that it's bottle, it's there and it's making the decision. Okay, the disadvantage is that it's still B'Metzius, very powerfully, right? And a better argument could change my mind. Right? If it's coming from Seichel, so okay, I've been convinced al pi Seichel that this is a reasonable position, just like the mashal the Rabbi brought in the footnote, the Kategar and the Senegra, the prosecuting attorney has been convinced by the defending attorney that the client is innocent. New evidence could appear. Right? And if new evidence appears, so then the Kategar is back to himself, prosecuting the gentleman again. Okay. So there is a change. It's been elevated to a certain degree, but it's still, there's no bittul because it's all coming from it. I'm going to see that in Zion even more, right? Whereas so that's the advantage. That's the disadvantage of the Aveda from below. The disadvantage of the Aveda from above is it doesn't affect the Nefesh Habamis at all. It's not changed. Inspiration doesn't change me. I'm the same person I was before the inspiration. Once it disappears, unless I do the Aveda from below, bring about the change. Okay? So the inspiration to quit smoking doesn't mean I stopped smoking. The only way I quit smoking is by stopping to smoke. That's the hard work from below. And that's a milchama. But we're saying, through a revelation of Yechida Shebenefesh, both levels of Aveda can have both advantages. We don't understand how. We just know that's the equation. Rabbi hasn't explained the equation yet. Right? You said that. Right? Generally, the explanation of such an equation is that since Yechida Shebenefesh or Atzmus is completely beyond any geder, beyond any description, so then it can bring about a reality of Nimna and Nimnaot, right? The paradox of paradoxes, so that two opposite states of reality can exist in harmony. Right? But that's not how the Rebbe is going to explain it later in the Maimon. The Rebbe is going to explain it al pi seichel later in the Maimon, which is really astounding. It's also a chiddush. Okay, so let's see Zion. Right now, we've explained this. We know we have three psukim in this Maimon. Pada b'sholem, right? Shavti b'sholem, Yaakov Avinu, Parshas Yetzei. I will return b'sholem, base sholem, pada b'sholem, base sholem. What's the difference between those two? Pada b'sholem is the relationship between the Nefesh Elokis and the Nefesh Hamis. V'shavti b'sholem is the tikkun, the beer of the world at large. Yaakov Avinu is going into love and to elevate Elam Hazeh. Right? So that's the beer of the world at large. The beer of the Nitzutzes is how the Rabbi described it, the sparks of Kedusha in the world. The third pasuk, which we haven't dealt with in the Maimon yet, and that's what we're going to start dealing with now, is V'chol Banayich, right? Which we'll see right now. We're going to see the pasuk. V'chol Banayich, which is what we're going to see now is the Rebbe is including in this Maimer, right? We said at the beginning of the Maimer, the Rebbe said 3 Maimarim on Shabbos, Parshas V'Yetzei Tavshin Chaf Beis, which this is based on. A Maimer based, 2 Maimarim based on the Mitler Rebbe, and then a Pada B'Shalom Maimer, which is this, right? Okay, it's important to remember. In this Maimer, the Rebbe includes another Maimer. The Frierdiker Rebbe said the Maimer of V'chol Banayich twice, word for word, except for one addition, which we'll see. He said it at the Ufra for the Rebbe, right? On Shabbos, before Yud Dalet Kislev, and then the Rebbe verbringed with the Bachrim in Temchei Temim in Varsha, the Frierdiker Rebbe, and said exactly the same Maimer, word for word, that he had said on Shabbos, He said it the night before the Chasna with the Bochim and Temkei Tmim in Varsha, but he added something, a story that we're going to see. It's not clear here that he added, but that's what happened. Now here it just seems to be part of the mimer, but it was not said evidently in the first rendition of the mimer. By the Ufruf, the Frierdiker Rebbe did not say the story of the Tzemach Tzedek that we're going to see here, which is really interesting. Everything else evidently was word for word the same mimer. So let's see what, now our Rebbe here is going to include that mimer in this mimer. V'yesh l'kasher inyan zeh. We can connect all of this. Imashim mavar k'red kedushas maricham yadmer b'ma'amar dibur masa v'chol b'nayach. Limudei havaya v'rav shleim b'nayach. Okay? All of your children, limudei havaya, are ones who are learned of Hashem. V'rav shleim b'nayach, and there's great peace amongst your sons, your children. Okay, now here, this was the third pasuk we related to with the idea of base shalom. Two different levels of shalom. Rab shalom here, but the minimum of Rav, of course, is 2. Sha'amra, he said it, b'Shabbos Parshas V'yetze Tafresh Pei Tes. He said it on Shabbos Parshas V'yetze, that was the Ufruf. Shebekuntrus Drushe Chasna. It's in the kuntrus that came out, Drushe Chasna, so it's there. And now the Rebbe brings the Targum. The Targum on that pasuk. Right? The Targum ala pasuk v'chol b'nayich hu v'chol b'nayich, all of your children, alfin b'raisa de Havaya, learn the Torah of Havaya, v'sagi yehe shlom b'nayich, and it's sufficient that there will be peace amongst your children. Now it's interesting.